this guy was begging the cop for him to let him breathe, and this cop literally kept going on his neck, the artery, right where the artery is.
It makes me really sad that the video shown of him saying I can't breathe and him going unconscious in an ambulance.
Guys, just pay attention to how an 11-year-old is speaking to you guys right now and how a 15-year-old is speaking to you guys. If they're thinking like this, then I'm pretty sure your kids are also thinking the same way. Hey everybody, what's going on? Hi everybody, what's going on?
Hi.
How's everybody doing, dude? What's going on, everybody? I've been wanting to do a live with you guys for a couple of weeks now, especially with what's been going on with COVID and what's been going on with the recent protest, man. It's something really serious, and I really wanted to share with you guys what we think about what's been going on, and it's like, let me just kind of get situated as you guys are coming in. First of all, thank you so much for being here with us today. Mm-hmm. And happy Saturday. Let's go over this way.
Saturday. I don't even know what day it is anymore.
Now you can come this way. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. And we've been like really having conversations about what's been going outside of our house, right? Yeah. Like what's been happening with George Floyd, what happened with the lady in New York City. And like I really wanted to share with you guys, and I wanted to hear from you all as well, how you have been kind of just like responding to the whole situation, y'all. Like it's like it's been really rough on me as a father to try to figure out a way to educate our children. And I wanted to start doing this hashtag that I haven't even mentioned to the kids. It's called "What You See That I Don't See." So I don't know what is it? What do you see that I don't see? Oh, okay. Yeah. The hashtag is called "What Do You See That I Don't See?" Let me give you an example of what that means. For example, you guys see that I'm, trying to keep my kids happy and trying to keep my kids like outgoing and positive during these crazy times. But what you don't see is how hard it is to make to keep this house together, to make sure that I have food on the table, to make sure that our minds are okay. And I'm just super curious, like, what is it that you're going through that I don't see? What is it that you are going through at home? Especially right now with all this fear, all this uncertainty that we don't see, And I would love for you guys to share with us in the comments below, because I feel like a lot of us come together like that. There you go, like this, yeah. And we need to have a discussion about it, Mm-hmm. So, Mary, Emily, how are you? How's everybody doing? Hello, loves and kisses. As you guys are coming in, by the way, don't forget to smash that like button to let me know you guys are here at some point in the video. And let's just start with our highs and lows of the week. My high of the week is I'm actually really excited. I'm about to drive to Long Beach to go see my mom. I've been wanting to see my mom for a while now, and I really miss her, and I just want to see how she's doing, And my low is that what is my low?
It's the low of the week.
Obviously, the stuff that's going on with that's happening with the protest, George Floyd, and the unfortunate situation with the guy the cop that killed the guy with his knee. That was very, 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 very hard to see. I feel for the people of Minneapolis. I feel for the people that have been affected by all this, and I'm asking myself, like, what can we do? What can we do to have a discussion about it, Because people are concerned. I know my kids are getting a different perspective from it, especially right now with TikTok and all that stuff. And I just wanted to ask the girls, like, what do you think about what's going on? Let's start with Alexa.
I'll share my highs and then go into the thing. My high of the week is my friend Jasmine's over. She's upstairs watching my brother Aaron, but I just really like hanging out with friends, and I've been getting more into my drawing, and I'm trying to figure out what doesn't work for me in art, what does work for me in art. My low of the week is I pretty much have finals going on right now, so I'm trying to get all my grades up because my grades aren't really doing well right now, so I'm trying to keep them on task. I have a lot of work due, so it's like...
Hey Carolina, I called your Supercuts today, and you weren't there to cut my hair. I was like, no!
Don't get me started with him self-cutting freaking hair. Ugh. I think, honestly, with the situation going on right now with George Floyd and all the riots and the protests that are happening in Minneapolis, honestly, it's really horrifying, and it's so sad to see that this even happened. Like, I saw the video, and like this guy was begging the cop for him to let him breathe, and this cop literally kept going on his neck, the artery, right where the artery is, for 8 minutes, and he went on his neck even for like several minutes even after he was unresponsive, and like this was full-on murder for me. And honestly, I was very, very, very upset. And I'm upset that it took a couple of days after George Floyd's death for the officer to be arrested. His house was guarded by like so many police officers. And I think with the protests going on, like, violence is never the answer, in my opinion. You know, I don't believe that that you should try, like, if someone harms you and hurts you, that you shouldn't harm them and like hurt them back, because you're like pretty much doing what they're doing. But like, I think the whole lie that the protesters were being violent first is a lie. Honestly,
and some
like,
are. I'm not gonna lie. Some people are protesting violently. And you know, overall, I think stealing is wrong. I think
people are just taking advantage. Some people are taking advantage. Some people are taking
advantage. In fact, some people are actually like pretending, and they're just into it for the chaos.
Yeah,
to be honest with you. I actually noticed that too in the videos, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah, shout out to the lady that was freaking trying to stab people that were walking in and out of the store. Some lady in this wheelchair pretending like she was a protester was trying to stab African American people as they were running back and forth into the stores.
Is that actually true though?
It is true. There's a whole video of her doing it, and she got caught. And she was pretending and acting like the victim, saying I was being beat and all that stuff. Like, she got whipped, and and there are people who are taking advantage of these protests, and that disgusts me because this is a real problem that's happening. People, the minority, people who cannot speak up for themselves, are now trying to find their voice and speak up for the horrible. You know, the horrible situation that's happening here, the injustice.
Yeah. And I'm not saying all cops are bad. I'm not saying what is going on right there in the streets right now is bad or good. It's something. Something's going on. And my question to you, Kevin, and whoever has questions about like what kind of protest is permissible, I really want you guys to really look into the past, in the past couple of months, years, weeks, decades as well. What is considered an actual peaceful protest? Because some of these communities who have been fighting against police brutality, who have been fighting for, this has been going on for hundreds of years. They've tried different forms of protests. One is taking the knee. Two is, speaking up at Oscars, or speaking up at events, or speaking up in your videos. And like, it's like, when is it going to be considered an actual protest? What is permissible, right? And so, unfortunately, we're all in this situation together. That's the truth. Okay, no matter if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or you believe in a spaghetti, or you believe in God, or you believe in that squares are circles. I don't care if you believe that squares are circles. That's totally fine. But my point is that it's important to discuss this together as a family, together as people, because no one wants to get looted. Nobody wants to be robbed. But you have to understand that some people feel that they have been robbed all their lives, because of their skin color. And I'm sad, dude. I'm sad that people are out there looting, but I'm also sad because, man, some of these people just want to be heard, and some of them just want to cause kids. It's a mix of a bunch of stuff, right? And I empathize and I understand, but I'm also concerned, and as a father, I'm trying to figure out a way to make sure that I continue to educate my children as much as possible about everything, about showing high regard and high respect to police officers, and showing high regard and high respect to first responders, and equally showing high regard and high respect for those that are struggling.
Yes, though I do believe that most, not all, that most of especially the people in law enforcement, the people in cops, this has been a problem that's been going on for years. For years. And yes, there's always going to be good cops, and I respect those people who put their lives on the lines and protect other people. But most of the time, that's been happening a lot. It's police brutality, and it's racism. And people were trying to say that it's not about race. It was 100% about race. Listen, you know how like the ignorant people were protesting like a couple weeks ago about like they are not able to go outside and do all that stuff, and they rioted in front of like police stations and government places.
Do you guys remember just a couple of weeks ago, a bunch of people rioted in front of the Capitol, in front of all these like political buildings with guns and AR-15s?
Yes, and mainly
a particular group of people, not necessarily white, not necessarily black, but a particular group of people were just sitting around with guns and
assault rifles.
And the way in which, listen, this is what matters. the way, I'm going to emphasize the word way, the way in which
police react to it.
the police reacted, the government reacted towards that type of demonstration,
and
towards
they were being
what's going
violent.
on.
They were being violent.
Then,
there are videos of them spitting and
then
hitting cops.
we're hearing people like the president and other people saying, shoot them, I'm gonna go out and shoot them. Dude, those kinds of words, if you Google the types of words that are being used and being used around like sentences, like if you're using the word thug and
Thugs.
shooting and
God.
these people in the same sentence,
These people.
those kinds of quotes, if you look into history, they are very, very close to the way in which dictators have been speaking. So I'm not saying that we need to start paying attention to how people speak. We need to start paying attention to what's happening around us, y'all.
And
like,
we need to
and
filter out
as
the
a-
good and bad in our
Yeah.
society, in our government. We have so much corruption.
we do have a lot of corruption.
So much corruption.
And something that Alexa brought up, especially for like a couple of weeks ago, we had people that were protesting about being inside the house and
not being able to get their nails done.
But they weren't just protesting for that. I understand some of them were protesting because they were losing their business.
Jobs.
They're losing their jobs. They're losing their business, and they feel like there's government overreach. I get that, and I also understand the importance of being safe and putting your mask on and taking care of your bodies and being careful, right? So it's all kind of like equally. Some of it has like similar type of like taste to it, right? The idea of like movements and the idea of like solidarity, but it's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
so much more different.
And the way in which right now, the way in which the situation with the guy that shot that killed the guy for being on his neck with his knee, the way in which it's being treated is very, very, very strategically being done.
And they lied to
you
the
can
public.
tell.
They lied to the public. In the police report, when it
Sit up,
first
Simon,
came
you're
out,
like sinking down. Yeah, I've been trying to tell you that, but you don't.
In
It's 'cause
the
you don't
police
listen.
report,
Come
when they
closer
first
this way
came out,
and put your hands up like this.
for when the Minnesota police report came out about George Floyd, they had explained it as he was being very resistant towards the police, that he was refusing to cooperate with the policemen, and that they were reported for forgery, a man who's forging money, like fake money, and they said that he was resisting, and then suddenly that he had a medical attack, and then they sent an ambulance, and then he died later on in the hospital. The idea that they lied, because a video a couple hours later was posted out of a bystander completely showing a whole different story. Also with a camera lens from a restaurant nearby, a complete different story from what the police report showed, saying this man was violent and resisted the police, only to show that these police went after this guy, George Floyd, arrested him in the car, put him on a wall at first, right? He was being very responsive. He was like, yes, had his hands behind his back. And then, when the other two police show up, they brought him around the car, tried putting him in a police car, and then the police, dropped him to the floor and completely, put his knee around his arm, and just the idea that they lied is what gets me angry, because if this wasn't recorded, there would have been no justice for George Floyd.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I think people are starting to, they don't realize that. For example, I was talking to Alexa and Eliana about what happened in New York with that lady who called the police on the African American guy.
Oh,
that was really, and I was how do I teach my kids? How do I talk to my kids about this moment that happened in a park with this guy? Here's how. I sat with him and I told him that this is the part that is the racist part, okay? This is the part where the lady made a huge mistake, okay? The guy was walking in the park, and so was the lady. The lady didn't have her dog leashed, and the dog is not supposed to be unleashed. And because of whatever reason, I think they're supposed to be taking care of their vegetation.
Law, yeah.
So the guy just told her like a simple person,
hey,
please put your dog on a leash. And the lady responded after a couple backs and forths. She said, and I quote, and this is the part, ladies and gentlemen.
That is racist.
This is the part that's racist. She said, and I quote, he says, I'm going to call the police and tell them that you are African American. That phrase is what started this situation.
Yeah.
That's why she got fired. That's why she got she got her dog taken away for other
Dude, did you
reasons.
see the dog? She's freaking choking the dog.
And so what that means is that what happened is she weaponized the word African American
And use it against him.
and used it against him to win over the 9/11 dispatcher. Even though her life wasn't in danger. I mean, maybe your life was in danger. Let's say you feel in danger, right? For whatever reason, you feel in danger. But the action of her weaponizing those words to try to win over the 9/11 dispatcher, knowing should have known the historicity of talking about black men that way, number one, or people that way, making a false claim, and then number two, the part that made it even much more racist is she was on the phone and she was starting to pretend that she was agitated. She was pretending to be afraid. She was like using that.
Her persona completely changed.
Her persona completely changed. That was the part that became racist. And that happens a lot.
And just the idea.
That's the action, the idea. Hold on. Yeah. The idea that she thought it was okay to say that. You know, and I'm so glad that she was able to apologize. Unfortunately, she was fired. But the point is this. The point is this. That could mean the difference between life and death for somebody. Especially African American man.
I just can't believe
in
that.
history, we've seen that happen so many times. And so I was talking to my kids about this, like, dude, how many times have we seen the bodies of African Americans and brown people and even in general minorities, under-resourced, underrepresented peoples in situations like this, and then it gets glorified on social media, and then you get people on the left and you get people on the right, and it's like, dude, someone literally just died, someone was killed because of the actions of one person, and that acted as if it was permissible to abuse his power, to press on a person's neck and kill them. He had every reason to not do that, but he didn't.
And even when he was responsive, he could have been like, oh my god, he's not breathing. Maybe I should get off of him. Yeah. This guy completely just full on sat on his neck for so long. It was horrifying. And also going back to the lady, like, I can't believe that we live in a society where, like, an African American, a person of color, has to be afraid when someone's calling the police and says African American man. We shouldn't even been able to use that word. To be able to use that word and have it mean fear, have it mean something bad. That is disgusting. Yeah. And it's horrifying to think that we live in a society where a single word, a single race of someone defines whether or not they live or not. Yeah. Whether or not the cops react a certain way.
What do you guys think, guys? What do you guys think in the comments below? Would love to know your thoughts. Be honest. Don't be afraid to be honest. I know some of us, we all have different perspectives, okay? I'm not here to I mean, unless you're trampling on someone else's human rights, that's different, okay? Yeah. But what are your thoughts about what I said, about what my daughter said? And this is about having a conversation. It's about having dialogue. I'm happy to hear her having this discussion, having self-insight. Yeah. Now let's go over to Eliana really quick. Mama, I know you've been I heard you go, but tell me, like, how do you feel? What is your perspective on all of this? You're a little girl in this little world, and you wake up one day and all of a sudden you see the world burning. What's going on? Speak up, because I can't see. You're away from the camera, completely away from the camera. She does this all the time.
Es porque she's tired. También ella es chiquita. She doesn't.
It's okay, Mom. It's okay.
Well, I just feel like, I don't know. I can't explain it anymore because I said it all yesterday.
Well, you know, yesterday you were learning about, like, having two opinions, right? Like, learning that it's okay to have two opinions and sharing your thoughts, and you don't have to have the answers to the situation. It's just your thoughts. Like, what does it make you feel?
Wait, do I explain my highs and lows and then that?
I think you should just go straight to what makes you feel.
Well, it makes me kind of angry and also really sad that George Floyd, right?
Yeah. George Floyd, yeah.
Had to die when he really. I mean, even if he did something bad, for instance, if he didn't actually, if he didn't like. $20, the fake $20 bill is not that serious. I mean, it is because you're giving someone fake money, but is it that serious to react that way? Is it really that problematic or really sad, serious to actually try to murder him and, you know, like, realize what he's doing. And, you know, like, he could have actually stopped himself, and he could have said, maybe I shouldn't do that. Like Alexa said, maybe I shouldn't. And the other cops in here should have said, stop, don't do that. But, you know, cops are supposed to protect and serve and, you know, help people and, you know, stop things that people are doing bad. But it doesn't seem like they're doing that. It just seems like they are being racist. And, like, I've heard so many stories, especially with Ahmaud Arbery, right? Like, there's Ahmaud, this guy that died because of two people that thought he was being suspicious when he was just on a walk. And they shot him and they took his life when he was not doing anything. And they said they thought he was being suspicious. They thought he was being suspicious. When even if they thought that, there's give you no right to take someone's life. No right, because you don't know what's happening at their house. You don't know what's happening. And for someone to die, it's really sad, especially for the family. The family, I feel bad for the family right now. I have to see that video of a cop literally, like, taking his life away. Taking his life for no reason. He might have done something bad, but that doesn't give you any right to take someone's life for, like, just a stupid $20 bill. If he did something worse, it still doesn't matter. You probably put him in handcuffs and you put him in the car, but you don't
kill him.
You don't kill him physically. Yeah. Like, that's not okay. If I saw the video, like, I didn't see the other video, but I saw like on YouTube, I saw the video. He stays so calm, and you could see that he was like, it hurts because when you're in handcuffs, it's like kind of hurts because you don't know who's flexible or not, or like who can the bag. But I didn't see any resisting. I didn't see any of that. And like Alexa said, it's just disgusting that they had to lie. Yeah. They really had to lie and say, oh, he was so dangerous. He had a weapon in his hand. Like, no, he didn't. You just wanted to do that. Like, even if they said, they probably are trying not to admit that they didn't do that. But if you probably did do that in your head because you're thinking, I want to do this, but you could have stopped yourself and said to yourself, you know, maybe I should not do this. But instead you kept going and you kept pushing your foot into his unconscious. Yeah. Like, just the video made me so sad. Like, hearing him, I can't breathe. Like, I see why the protesters are really upset right now. They have all the right to be upset. They have all the right. They can be upset if they want. You can't stop them to be upset. You have, like, over the years, there's so many stories of people being racist, killing, you know, black people when it's just, they're not doing anything. They want to live a life. They're normal people. We're all people. Like, for instance, my dad, he's a person. I'm a person. Like, we're all people. We're probably not all the same. We all have different skin colors, you know, we don't eye colors, but we're literally all this.
There's only one race, the human race.
The human race, yes, we're all people, and we all deserve to live. We all deserve to live. God put us on this world for us to live.
And let me stop you there, because you have you just put out a very, very important thought that I think people need to really focus on, and it's this idea of like what is going on in people's minds that makes people believe that it's permissible and okay to abuse power and steal not just steal like the way you think you see on TV. I'm talking about like
you're stealing
companies, man, right now are like
Target was completely
the way in which like you don't even know there's so much there's a lot that we need to have a discussion about right now. But like, I really want to get theoretical with you guys. I want to get like really intellectual with you guys about this conversation, and I'm just really having a conversation with you guys about this because I have my kids here. And Barry,
Can I keep talking?
Yeah, absolutely. But first of all, see, now you know. At first, when we started talking, she was all like really uncomfortable. But she gets out of her comfort zone. Guys, everybody in the comments, don't forget to smash that like button to let me know you guys were here at some point in the video. So if you like this conversation, please do me a huge favor and share this conversation right now. Just share it in your feed. Everybody right now, share it. Ready? And because I feel like maybe we can reach out to some kids or some family members that definitely need to hear this conversation. I would really, really, really appreciate it, because we need to spread the word. We need to educate our children. We need to educate ourselves and have a conversation. That's what we're trying to understand. I got people on the right side, Republicans. I got people on the left side, and Democrats trying to figure out what is going on. And there's a particular group of people on the left and a particular group of people on the right that are continuously trying to figure out a way to be divisive. So we're trying to figure out a way to create a bridge and give understanding to what is going on to each other.
I would like to share something really quick.
No. She's not done. She's not done. She's not done.
She's gonna keep talking.
Let her finish.
Also,
Let her finish. She's got some cool thing to say too.
Also,
Both of you.
also, like, if you knew that if you're gonna take someone's life, you should know that there's gonna be consequences, obviously, and this is the consequence they're gonna have to pay, because they decay, they can be mad. Like, it's like, obviously not to burn and hurt other people, because that's just so wrong. You know, don't, even if someone else is being a bully, like my dad told me, you don't have to be the bully back. Like, you can show your anger, but like, obviously the consequences, burning down a building, I mean, they're showing that this is justice for him, but hurting other people obviously is not the right answer to anything. But, you know, obviously, like, saying, oh yeah, but just like, it's if someone else's life,
health.
Yeah.
Mental health. I think that's what she's trying to encompass. Yeah. She's trying to encapsulate the idea of mental health. Not just for the victims of the situation, but also what was going on through the police officer's mind. What goes on through a person's mind that starts to report someone unjustly, like saying, hey, you are going to get arrested by the cops if I say that you are African American. Like, what kind of mental... Where are you in your mind, like, to be talking to people like that?
Like, what type of monster?
What makes you think?
Like,
how entitled do you feel? You know what I mean?
Like how ignorant or disrespectful can you be if you go up to someone and say, "I'm gonna call the police because you are African American in a park, and this is a park only for people that are my color." Like, that would kind of be very disrespectful to feel like, especially that lady. That was so disgusting. Very disgusting to say that to someone, because like what if he was saying that to you? Would you feel disgusted? Would you feel hurt? And what if the police came and arrested you when you did nothing and they took your life for no reason? Like, they could have taken his life when he really did nothing. I saw how calm he was. He was just telling her to please. The dogs can really hurt other things in, like, parks, and dogs have to be on leashes. It was that easy. She could have put the leash on, but she had to argue and call almost like 911 or the dispatcher. But, you know, the protesters are not going quiet. They're not going to go quiet. This is finally their time to speak. It's their time to speak. They have all right to speak. All these years, they've been stealing other people's lives, and for no reason sometimes. If they've done something bad, put them in jail, but there's no right to kill them. No right to kill them. Under-resourced
communities and underrepresented peoples like African Americans and some undocumented peoples and certain people that are like refugees, they have been looted of their lives for centuries. And if you don't see it and if you don't understand what that means, it's really important for you to sit down and sit down. Number one, sit down. This is not about you. You have never experienced this. If you have never experienced police brutality, if you have never experienced what it's like to have to
watch a family friend member like die in front of you, or like and some sort of injustice or racism towards them. Like, it's just so rude. I mean, I'm very, very upset. I've been very upset, like, ever since I heard about it. I mean, I'm not as vocal. I mean, I am vocal about it to my friends. But, like, it just upset me so much. I mean, I am someone who's never gone through I've never experienced what it's like to have people be racist toward me, to understand what it's like to feel injustice.
Have you guys? No, seriously.
Feel pain for
Good
my
question.
fellow.
Good question. Let me stop there and then we keep going. Have you guys? Be honest with me, okay? White, black, brown. I don't care what color you are, what color race or whatever you are. Have you ever been arrested? Have you ever felt racism? Have you ever been discriminated at? And if you haven't felt any of these things, have you ever felt alone? Have you ever felt casted away? Have you ever felt like you can't speak? Because that's what some people feel like.
Yeah. Just
because of the color of the skin. And I know it sounds stupid. Oh, we are all the same. And of course we are. Of course we are. We're all equal. Who doesn't want to feel that way? But the truth is, some people get treated differently in this world because of the way you look, because of the way you love, because of the way that you
because what you believe in.
what you believe in. And it's just we have to figure out a way to create a bridge for each other.
Yeah.
And solidarity, like understanding. I don't think anybody likes going and waking up in the morning going, oh man, hey, let's go outside and go do the store. You want to do it? Like, nobody does that. You don't wake up in the morning and like, hey, I want to be a criminal today. Do you understand? Like, you have to make a choice. You have to have gone through something important or something traumatic or something you've been living with all your life to go, I'm going to destroy. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. There's a psychological reason for it. You know what I mean? And so is racism, and so is, I mean, because I do believe racism is a disease. No, I don't like this one.
Also, if you ever notice that there's, like, especially for an African American family, you have no idea there's how scared their kids can be, and how their parents could be had to tell their kids, you can't go outside because of your skin color. You know how that can be so, like, you don't know what's going on at homes, like parents know how to tell their kids, you can't do this and that because people are not going to take you for like what you look like, and some kids don't even understand. Like, for me, I'm so scared what's happening outside, and you know, I feel bad for all the families and people that have to suffer because of what they look like. It doesn't matter what you look like. It doesn't. It really doesn't. But it matters to people that care. Like, they just want to be like, oh, your skin color, you can't be in this, you can't go in that. It doesn't matter. We're all people. We all should be equal. We all should have the same amount of things we all have. And like, not take a life away.
Yes.
Like, that should not be anything to happen. Sorry.
No. I had to think about what you said too before I try to interrupt you. Everything you said was very, very good.
Like, just the kid, like, you have no idea what the parents are going to go through and say, hey, child, you can't do this because of police, and you know, it's just hard to talk about that to your kids and say that because they don't understand, and it's gonna mean it's just so important that to know that there's people out there that just struggle so much, and then you have to make it worse and take someone's life away, but you don't think about what's gonna actually happen next, like the consequences. He probably knew, like, the cop that murdered him is gonna have to know that there's gonna be something that's coming his way for what he did. That was just so rude and
going along
ignorant.
with
What he said, like, what he did was just so hurtful to me because, like, people, I don't like seeing someone's life being away. Like, it's just so sad because you know that you can't do anything about it, especially when you're near police. They have a gun, they have a taser. Those people try to help him and he tried to, like, hurt them, and it's just, it makes me really sad that the video shown of him saying I can't breathe and him going unconscious in an ambulance.
Hey, and that's another thing too, guys. That's another thing too that really bothers me is that it's a cultural tradition to see a dead body of a black man dying on video. It is a cultural tradition, an American cultural tradition. I believe now that we see it so often that it's like a tradition. It's a tradition. It's like a ritual to, like, see somebody die that looks like you. Do you understand how bad that is? How traumatic that is?
Yeah, because you know that can happen to
ritual,
you. Yeah. Like, you don't, like, you see an African American man die, and you know that could be you. You're so scared for your life. Like, if a kid sees that, an African American kid sees that, they're gonna be like, oh, that's gonna be me one day. What am I gonna do? I have to be safe out there. The African American people have to be even more safe out there because you don't know if a police goes to you, hey, do you know you were stealing when you really did nothing, and they could take your life for no reason. And that's just sad because they have to be safe. They have to hide.
I'm really glad you guys get to hear what my daughters have to say, because you guys need to understand that this is how some children her age feel right now.
Oh, I'm not even going to talk about what my generation, all my friends are doing.
How are your friends, children, parents, kids, any age, how are you guys reacting to this? In the comments below, I would love to know, because beyond this conversation we're having as a family, I'm sure you guys are also having conversations in your house. You know, and we got a couple of minutes before we leave, and I really want to share. We're gonna share some final thoughts. We're gonna start with Alexa for the final thoughts, and one more from Eliana, more from me. Before we leave, don't forget to smash that like button. If any of this that we just shared with you guys, it resonated with you. If you guys could please all smash that like button, I would really appreciate it. And also, I'm going to leave this video on for after it's over. If you guys want to share it, I would really appreciate if all of you share this video right now. That would be amazing. And it would help us a lot. Let us know you guys were here at some point in the video. And and just have a conversation. I highly recommend you guys to please continue to have these conversations with your kids. I don't care where you live. I don't care if you're rich or poor or middle class or whatever the hell they call us nowadays. Just please have a conversation. It's important to have dialogue, okay? Please. Alexa, final thoughts.
So, I just wanted to say about the protests with the whole thing people were saying were people being violent. I saw a bunch of videos, and in my opinion, I think the police started it first.
They did.
I'm gonna go back to the whole. It's 100% about race. Going back to the ignorant people who went out and without masks and were super violent against the police and like I forgot where, and the police did nothing as the people continued to spit at them, to yell at them, scream at them, hit them. I've seen videos of them hitting them with a baton. I've seen, and like police is just like, okay, back up, but like people right now are not sticking up for I want to get my nails done, not sticking up for I don't get to play golf. They're sticking up for people's rights, are being maced, shoot with bullets, are being bombed in the streets. Y'all. It's disgusting. And like I saw, and people were saying the protesters were being violent first. I literally saw a video because the first couple days were peaceful. People were sitting there with signs, and I just saw a video of like police while these people were just sitting there screaming and protesting, sitting, not doing anything. Police still come up to them, kick them, mace them, and shoot them. They weren't doing anything. So if anybody says anything about the protesters being violent, they were not being violent. Let me ask
you a question just to clarify with everybody. Do you think that all police officers are evil?
No.
Honestly, I don't really know anymore.
I personally don't think so. I think I have friends that are officers.
Yeah.
They're good people. There are some people that live and work within the police system that are not there for the right reasons. That's what I believe in. I have high regard for police officers. I think that some of them are protecting us. I think that they're putting themselves in the front of a lot of danger. I think it is dangerous to chase people that are dangerous. I think it's very, very, very important to have forms of safety and security and feeling safe. You know, protecting us, serving to protect us, etc. But they do need to weed out those that join the police force
and
for the wrong reasons.
And that's what's sad because that's what's sad.
Hold on. You already asked. You answered.
No. I'm not to speak. I'm just gonna ask about the police.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but like also the police also need to know that some people actually look up to him, especially little kids. Like if you have a little child that just loves seeing a police and they look up to them.
My son, Aaron.
Aaron
loves to play police.
And says, I want to be a police one day. Because to children, they parents tell their kids that the police are supposed to help and serve. That's true. That's what I grew up with because I know the police are supposed to help. But now that I know what's happening, like I have a lot of thoughts about what's happening with the police and why they're acting like this to people and why they're treating people like this when like there could be for instance, if there was an African American police and they were treating another African American police wrong. They're the same people. They're the same people. Like they treat other people. They treat a lot of other people different just because of their color. And hearing that as a kid, finding out that there's police killing people for no reason, it's just horrific.
It's horrific. It's horrific. It's sad,
just horrible.
Dude. Do you guys have any idea how much this is affecting the entire ecosystem of our children's future? We're having this conversation, guys, but this if you think about how children are seeing war and countries that have already been bombed at, like in Iraq and in Syria, man, I hope it never gets like this here. You know what I mean? But we need to protect our children's innocence. We need to protect our children's safety, and we need to make sure that they know what's really going on, but equally keeping them safe, right? Yeah. So before you finish, hold on. Yeah, I want to read a comment really quick because it's very important to understand something very, very important. There are great police officers which they don't show because sad truth, the media only shows the worst. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. I do believe there are great police officers, but unfortunately, the media is playing a role in both dividing and creating tension. It's the truth, guys. It's the truth. I mean, if you think about it, you're on Facebook, and I get fed a bunch of like media and stuff that pertains to my liking, and I'm starting to notice like sometimes I'm like, all right, I like this perspective, but I want to hear from this side as well as much as possible. So I have to like reset my settings on Facebook so that way I don't just get a bunch of like very, very like extremely radical like stuff from the left, and I want to learn more from both because sometimes the media itself is the problem. It filters what you want to see only, what makes you happy, what makes you like, ooh, this guy is looking, because that's how the Facebook algorithm works. The Facebook algorithm sees and hears because they hear your microphone. They hear you what you like and what you don't like, and they see how much you surf and how much what kind of feed, what kind of stuff do you click on, and they customize you to get more stuff like that. So that's what happens, I feel like, with like people that are more Republican than people that are more, whether you're Republican or Democrat. Most of us will just keep continuing. Most of us will just get Democrat focused feed, and then the Republicans will only get Republican focused feed. It's really bizarre. It's very sad and bizarre. Anyways, those are my final thoughts for me. Please don't forget to smash that like button. You want to share one more thing really quick?
Also,
because I want to go to your sister.
Yeah. Also, like, I've been on YouTube a lot because I like learning about what's happening, because it's important to learn about what's happening, because you have to know that this is real life. It's not just some play of joke or anything. It's real. People are dying, and like because of just dumb people that don't know what they're doing. And you know, like I always see videos of people, African American men being treated different. Like there was a video of someone that won't let some like be in a pool, like where they live, and they won't be in a pool, and I see so many videos of how they treat them, and sometimes they tell like officers, no, they're being violent, they're hurting me. They're not doing anything to you. They're minding their own life. They have their own life. They can do whatever they want. This is their life, man. They live in a house. They want to have like, they have children, man. They have children, and they're trying to have a dinner, and then someone has to come up to them and ruin that and say, hey, you're not allowed to be here because you're just not allowed to be here. And they don't have explanation doing that. They don't have a reason why. They just saying that. Like for instance, if I was someone that was being rude, I would know like if I was being rude or not, and people know when they're being ignorant and disrespectful, but you know, they just don't stop because they use their power against other people, like, and say, you know, you're not allowed to be in my pool because you know you tried to hurt me last time. No one did. No one hurt you. It's just you that's just hurting other people.
Guys, just pay attention to how an 11-year-old is speaking to you guys right now, and how a 15-year-old is speaking to you guys. Because if your children, if they're thinking like this, then I'm pretty sure your kids are also thinking the same way. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video with me. Don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and keep continuing to share this video. And I love you so much for sharing in the comments, and thank you girls for sharing. Thank you for getting out of your comfort zone. I don't want to.
Everybody,
she's like, I don't want to do the video. I don't want to go like that. And then all of a sudden she's like, Father, I will speak my words.
I have more words to say though.
Love you.
Love you too.
Love you.
Love you.
Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and don't forget to smash that like button, and thank you for expressing your thoughts.